All right, buckle up, everybody, because today's deep dive is taking us into some seriously mind-bending territory. We're talking about reincarnation and why we don't remember our past lives.
Yeah, it's one of those big mysteries, isn't it? Like, if our souls really do cycle through multiple lives, picking up all sorts of knowledge and experiences along the way, why can't we tap into that?
It's like we're hitting a giant cosmic reset button between lives. And to try and make sense of it all, we've got this awesome stack of sources to guide us today.
Oh, yeah, we've got everything from scientific studies on near-death experiences like consciousness beyond life, to personal accounts of past lives, like in Many Lives, Many Masters, and Past Lives, Future Lives Revealed.
Oh, and we even have some insights from the spiritual realm with War in Heaven, which always makes things extra interesting.
I know, right? War in Heaven always throws some wild stuff into the mix. But that's kind of what's so cool about this deep dive.
Yeah, it's like we're piecing together this massive puzzle using bits from science, personal experience, and even spiritual traditions.
Exactly, because it feels like all these different perspectives might actually be pointing towards the same truth. We just need to figure out how they fit together.
Okay, so let's start with the basics, shall we? Before we get into the why of forgetting past lives, is there even solid evidence to suggest that reincarnation is a real possibility?
Well, let's start with Many Lives, Many Masters. It's full of these compelling stories. Like, there's one about this woman, Catherine, who, under hypnosis, starts revealing details about the author's deceased father and son. Stuff she couldn't have possibly known.
Wait, hold on. So she's basically spilling secrets from beyond the grave. That's like straight out of a mystery novel.
It is, isn't it? And then Past Lives, Future Lives Revealed, it has this story about a young boy who randomly starts speaking Bengali, a language he had never even been exposed to. And he's claiming to be like a shopkeeper from India in a past life.
Okay, those are pretty wild, but what about something a little more, scientific? Is there anything that could help us understand this from, like, a brain perspective?
Right, so for that we can turn to consciousness beyond life. There's this cardiologist, Dr. Pim van Lommel, who studied near-death experiences in patients who had gone into cardiac arrest. And get this, some of these people reported having these super vivid, detailed experiences while their brains were basically flatlining.
So their brains were essentially offline, but their consciousness was still going strong. That's pretty much challenging everything we think we know about how the brain works.
It definitely raises a lot of questions about what consciousness really is and where it comes from. And it actually ties in nicely with the concept of the soul as it's described in War in Heaven.
Oh yeah, what's War in Heaven have to say about all of this?
Well, the book suggests that the soul is this separate energy form made up of something they call astral matter, and that it exists independently of the physical body. Like it's this container for our consciousness and all our experiences.
Okay, I'm starting to see how these different sources, even though they come at it from totally different angles, might actually be painting a similar picture. Like, there's this potential for our consciousness, our soul, to exist beyond the physical limitations of the brain and the body.
Yeah, and that's what makes this whole topic so intriguing, right?
Yeah.
We've got science hinting at the possibility of consciousness without a functioning brain, personal accounts suggesting that our identity might continue across lifetimes, and spiritual traditions offering explanations for how this whole soul journey works.
All right, so let's say, just for the sake of argument, that reincarnation is a thing. The big question then is, why can't we remember any of it? Yeah. It's like we're all walking around with this giant cosmic amnesia. What's the deal with that?
Right, it's like a giant cosmic mystery. Why would we go through all the trouble of accumulating all this knowledge and experience if we're just going to forget it all in the next life?
Right, exactly. It seems kind of counterproductive, So what are some of the explanations that our sources offer for this memory wipe?
Well, one of the most interesting ideas comes from soul contracts. It introduces this concept called seed thoughts, which are essentially deeply ingrained beliefs from our past lives.
Okay, so these seed thoughts, are they like hidden messages from our past selves?
In a way, yes. The book suggests that even if we don't consciously remember our past lives, those experiences can still shape our personality and influence the choices we make in this life.
So it's like we're carrying around all this baggage from our past selves, even though we don't know what's in the suitcase. That's kind of creepy, but also kind of cool.
Right. It's definitely something to think about. And then there's Why We Forget and How to Remember Better, which adds another layer to this whole thing.
Oh yeah, what's that one all about? I've been meaning to check that out.
Well, it talks about how memories aren't actually like fixed files in our brains. They're constantly being reconstructed and reinterpreted every time we access them.
Hold up, so you're saying our memories aren't even accurate recordings of the past, they're more like flexible interpretations.
Yeah, pretty much. So if you apply that to memories from past lives, imagine how much distortion and fading could happen over all that time and all those experiences.
Yeah, it's like playing a giant game of telephone across multiple lifetimes. The message is bound to get jumbled up along the way.
Exactly. And then War in Heaven throws another curveball into the mix.
Oh, here we go. War in Heaven always brings the drama.
I know, right? So in this case, they suggest that there might be entities, they call them theocratic spirits, who are actually messing with our ability to remember past lives.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about some kind of cosmic conspiracy to keep us in the dark about our past lives?
Well, the book definitely presents a pretty thought-provoking perspective. It suggests that if we could remember our past lives, learn from all those past mistakes and triumphs, we'd be a lot harder to control, and these theocratic spirits wouldn't be too happy about that.
Okay, so we've got seed thoughts, subtly influencing our choices, the natural fading and distortion of memories over time, and then potentially even some unseen forces working to keep us in the dark. That's a lot to wrap our heads around.
It is. It's like trying to solve a cosmic puzzle with missing pieces and hidden clues.
Yeah, exactly. It makes you wonder, if there are all these potential reasons why we might forget our past lives, is there any way to get around them? Like, can we somehow break through that veil of forgetfulness?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And that's what we'll be diving into next.
Well, there's this fascinating idea in Past Lives, Future Lives Revealed that really throws a wrench in things. It suggests that some people might actually be remembering future lives.
Wait, hold up. Future lives. You mean not just remembering what happened before this life, but like getting glimpses of what might come after?
Yeah, exactly. It kind of flips our whole idea of linear time on its head, suggesting that past, present, and future might all be connected in ways we can't even fathom. Okay, now that is seriously mind-bending. So, are we saying that time might not be as straightforward as we think? Like, past, present, and future might all be happening at once on some level?
The book definitely opens the door to that possibility. And it makes you think, if some people can seemingly access memories from the future, maybe the past isn't completely off limits either.
Okay, so if those memories are out there somewhere, how do we tap into them? Is there like a cosmic Google search engine for past lives?
Well, consciousness beyond life points to near-death experiences as potentially offering a glimpse beyond the veil. People who have had NDEs often describe this feeling of interconnectedness, like they're tapping into a universal consciousness or something.
So it's like NDEs are giving us a peek behind the curtain of reality, showing us the source code of existence.
It's an interesting way to put it, and both Many Lives, Many Masters, and Past Lives, Future Lives Revealed share accounts of people who, under hypnosis, describe going to this kind of soul plane or in-between state, where they can review their past lives and connect with other souls.
Whoa, that sounds intense, like a cosmic debriefing session after each lifetime. But what about those of us who haven't had an NDE or tried hypnosis? Are we just stuck with amnesia?
Not necessarily. Soul Contracts really emphasizes the power of self-reflection. It suggests paying attention to those recurring patterns in our lives, the fears, the desires, even talents that seem to come naturally. Those could be hints of seed thoughts carried over from past lives.
So is it like our past selves are leaving us clues, like breadcrumbs, to follow on this journey of self-discovery?
Yeah, I like that analogy. And Why We Forget and How to Remember Better reminds us that memories are really closely tied to our emotions. So exploring those deep-seated feelings, trying to understand the emotions behind those recurring patterns, might help unlock some of those hidden memories.
It's like those emotions are the keys to unlocking the doors to our past lives.
And War in Heaven adds another layer here, suggesting that developing our psychic abilities, our intuition, can help us navigate the spiritual realms and potentially access those memories.
Okay, but didn't War in Heaven also warn about those theocratic spirits and the possibility of manipulation? How do we know we're not just opening ourselves up to more interference?
That's a valid point, and it highlights the importance of approaching this exploration with a healthy dose of skepticism and discernment. Like Soul Contract says, trust your intuition, that inner voice that tells you what's right for you.
So it's kind of a balancing act, right? Being open to the possibility of past lives and hidden memories, but also staying grounded, not just blindly accepting everything we hear or experience.
Exactly. And past lives, future lives revealed reminds us that remembering past lives isn't just about satisfying our curiosity. It's about understanding ourselves on a deeper level, recognizing the patterns and lessons we might be carrying over from lifetime to lifetime.
Right, so it's not just about uncovering juicy details from the past. It's about using that knowledge to grow and evolve in the present.
And maybe even shape our future.
Okay, so if remembering our past lives can help us understand ourselves better, make better choices, even evolve spiritually, what's the point of this whole memory wipe system in the first place? Doesn't it seem kind of counterproductive?
Well, soul contracts has an interesting take on that. It suggests that each lifetime is like a unique soul contract, a specific set of experiences and lessons that we've chosen to focus on.
So it's like signing up for a specific course curriculum each time we incarnate. But why wipe the slate clean? Wouldn't having past life knowledge help us navigate those lessons more effectively?
Well, that's where War in Heaven comes in with its whole perspective on the theocratic spirits. It argues that remembering past lives might make us less susceptible to their influence, more likely to question authority and create our own spiritual path.
Ah, so maybe they prefer us to be a bit more, shall we say, naive and compliant.
That's one way to look at it. But soul contracts also suggest that forgetting might actually be a form of protection. Imagine carrying the weight of countless lifetimes, all the joys and sorrows and traumas all mixed up together.
Yeah, that sounds pretty overwhelming, like trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of rocks.
Yeah.
You'd be weighed down, unable to move freely.
Exactly. And consciousness beyond life offers another perspective. It talks about how our brains are wired to prioritize survival in the present moment.
So we're focused on the immediate threats and rewards, rather than dwelling on past lives.
Right. It's an evolutionary adaptation that's helped us survive, but it might also be part of what makes accessing those deeper memories so challenging.
So it sounds like it could be a combination of factors, right? This memory wipe system might be in place to protect us from overload, to allow us to fully engage with our current life lessons, and maybe even to keep us a bit more manageable from a certain cosmic perspective.
It's a fascinating puzzle to ponder, isn't it?
It really is. And it makes you wonder, if this memory wipe system is serving a purpose, is there a way to access those past lives responsibly, without getting overwhelmed or lost in the past? So it's like this memory wipe system is kind of protecting us, guiding us, maybe even controlling us to some extent. But that doesn't mean those past lives are totally off limits, right?
Not at all. There are definitely ways to explore those hidden memories and to do it responsibly. Soul contracts really emphasizes self-reflection. Paying attention to those recurring patterns in our lives, those deep-seated emotions. They might hold clues to our past selves.
It's like becoming a detective of our own souls.
Exactly. And why we forget and how to remember better, it actually offers some really practical tips for improving memory in general. Things like getting enough sleep, managing stress, staying mentally active.
Wait, so those things aren't just good for winning trivia night, they could actually help us tap into those deeper levels of memory.
It's worth considering. And then you've got techniques that are specifically designed for accessing past life memories, like hypnosis and past life regression. Past lives, future lives revealed, talks about that quite a bit.
Okay, but we have to remember that warning from War in Heaven, right, about those theocratic spirits and the potential for manipulation.
Oh, absolutely. Discernment is key. It's important to find a practitioner who is experienced and ethical and who respects your boundaries. Trust your gut feeling. If something feels off, don't be afraid to walk away.
So, like with any form of self-exploration, proceed with caution and listen to your inner compass.
Exactly. And don't forget about the power of your dreams. Past lives, future lives revealed, suggests that our dreams can be a really powerful pathway to past life memories. Those symbolic images and storylines, they might be our subconscious mind trying to communicate with us.
So you're telling me those weird dreams I have about being a medieval knight might actually mean something? I always thought it was just too much Game of Thrones before bed.
It's definitely possible. Soul Contracts encourages keeping a dream journal, paying attention to recurring themes and symbols. You might start to notice some surprising connections to past lives.
All right, so we've got self-reflection, memory-boosting techniques, hypnosis, dream exploration. Oh, and we can't forget about War in Heaven's advice on developing psychic abilities.
Right, strengthening that intuition and sensitivity to subtle energies. It might just help us navigate those spiritual realms and access those hidden memories.
Okay, so we've got a whole toolbox full of techniques here. But what if someone tries all of this and they still can't remember anything? Does that mean they haven't lived past lives?
Not necessarily. Many lives, many masters reminds us that not everyone is meant to remember their past lives in this lifetime. Some souls might choose to focus on the present, to learn and grow through the experiences of this particular incarnation.
So it's not like you get an F on your cosmic report card if you can't remember any past lives.
Right. And consciousness beyond life suggests that even if we don't consciously remember our past lives, those experiences might still be influencing us on a deeper level, shaping our personality, our choices.
So it's like those past lives are a part of our soul's DNA, even if we can't fully access the genetic code.
Love that analogy. And past lives, future lives revealed, reminds us that this journey of self-discovery, it's a process. Even if we don't have all the answers right now, the act of exploring, of questioning, of being open to new possibilities, that's where the real growth happens.
So it's not about getting fixated on remembering every detail. It's about embracing the mystery and trusting that our soul is guiding us on the right path.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe as we continue to evolve spiritually and refine our understanding of consciousness and memory, those past lives will start to come into focus, offering even deeper insights into who we are and why we're here.
It's like we're all on this incredible journey, unraveling the mysteries of our own existence, one lifetime at a time.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And that's really what makes this whole topic so captivating, right? The possibility that we're more than just these physical bodies, that we carry the echoes of countless lifetimes within us.
It's like we have this whole tapestry of experiences just waiting to be explored. So for anyone listening who's feeling a little more curious, maybe a little more adventurous, even hopeful after this deep dive, remember, the exploration starts within. Trust your intuition. Be open to the whispers of your soul and see where the journey takes you.
Well said. Who knows what incredible discoveries await us as we continue to dive deep into the mysteries of consciousness and the universe.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.